Okay, any questions for the student athletes? Justin?
Jacob, how much have the running backs really benefited the offense, especially in the passing game?
Oh, tremendously. When we got running backs that can also catch the ball outside of the backfield, that opens up the passing game a lot more for us receivers, so they can't really point on one guy or double team one guy or look at for, just me, a couple other guys, just to focus in on. So we also got running backs now that can get out the backfield, catch the ball, and do something with it.
And then how would you describe the growth of a guy like a Jonah Coleman over the last year?
Oh, over the last year, he's gotten in his playbook a lot more. He understands the offense. He knows what his role is. He knows what the scheme is. So now at this point, I think he can kind of relax a little bit, go out there, have fun, and just play his game.
Troy?
Jacob, when you look at the game against NAU, there was a lot of screen opportunities, passes to the running backs and whatnot. How do you think that the receiving core did in terms of blocking and trying to improve in that area from last season?
Yeah, I think we did pretty well. I think we can always get better at it. Looking from last year to this year, I think we hit a big emphasis on it over the fall camp and over spring ball to get our blocking done. So I think, there's always room for improvement for our blocking as a receiving group, and I think that we're going to try and hone in on that this week.
We'll go Brian and then Michael.
For Jacob, Manu, you were out on the field more than anyone else on defense, and there's constantly new guys in front of you on the defensive line, and part of your job is to make sure alignments and stuff are set with those guys. How difficult was that with having new guys come in every play, it seemed like?
It wasn't that hard, just making sure they're set, because, we had depth this year, and everybody knows scheme, so when they came in, they were ready, everybody knew their assignment.
Are you jealous at all that they get rest and you didn't?
Oh, no, I'm not that.
Michael and then Jason.
For Jacob Manu, when you guys played Mississippi State last year, you had not ascended to a starting position yet. Can you just describe what your journey has been like kind of since you've gotten here and over the last year and how your role has evolved?
Just trying to be a leader for my team and be someone that they can rely on. Just do my job on the field, do my 1 to 11.
What did you learn when you were not playing as much, when you were maybe just observing or looking at special teams?
I just really just watched how the vets played, how they acted in certain situations and what they did.
We'll go Jason and then David.
For Jacob Cowan, what was otherwise a strong season, this was not one of Jaden's better games last year when he played Mississippi State. Currently they've got this 3-3-5 defense. What is it about the Bulldogs defense that makes it so difficult?
I think with their defense, they have some guys that played some years with each other, so they had a very good understanding of the defense and stuff like that. So I think now, and also last year was a lot of us. It was our first year in the offense, so it was kind of difficult for us to kind of get on the same page with certain things. So now that we have a year underneath our belt with the playbook, James, he's a lot more comfortable calling his plays, know what he needs to do, check us in and out of plays. Also with the receiving group, the running backs, the O-line, we all improved tremendously. We all spent a year together now, so at this point we're just going out there having fun playing football.
David?
For Jacob Manu, Jacob, just what did you notice? What was the biggest thing you noticed about having some different big guys in the middle, like Bill North and Tyler Mel?
Them just holding up the gaps, letting me play free, and really just letting me play free.
Justin?
And for Jacob Cowan, do you think it's fair to say that Jaden was a little reluctant to run last year against Mississippi State, and how do you think he's grown in that category since that game?
Throughout this past spring ball, fall camp, he's been coached to kind of stay in the pocket as much as he can, as long as he can. So I think that's one of his main things that I've seen him improve on a lot better. That when he needs to scramble, he knows when to scramble, and when he can stay in the pocket for just a tad bit longer, he can stay up there in the pocket, deliver a good pass, and then just continue moving the ball.
And what was the message for you guys just in terms of red zone execution?
That was a huge emphasis, was the red zone and actually finishing our drives in the red zone area, because I know last year we didn't do that good in the red zone area. So I think now that we spent such a good long fall camp on the red zone area, that now we're just flying around. We know what we need to do. We know what certain plays that we need to get to in the red zone to be successful. And I think that's just where we're at.
And then lastly for me, can you describe that touchdown to T-Mac and what the messaging was before the play with you guys there?
There was really no message before that play. It was just, we called that play, and then T-Mac and Jaden were on the same page, and if they did the certain coverage, if they fell off on me, then they knew what to do. And, you know, we got a touchdown out of it.
Michael and then Troy.
For Jacob Cowan, you know, there's obviously going to be a lot of noise down there at Mississippi State, very loud SEC type of crowd. What is the key to playing a clean game, avoiding the procedure, false start type penalties that can put you behind schedule?
I think it starts with, this week of practice, everyone just being confident and comfortable with their assignment, and just continue going out there playing fast, playing our game, not letting all that outside distraction get to us. And yeah, it might be loud and everything like that, and we're gonna practice do some things like that, being loud at practice and stuff like that to kind of get ready for it. So I think just the main focus is just being confident, being comfortable with your assignment, and just execute.
We'll go Troy, David, and then Brian.
Jacob, going into the game, Coach Nansen talked about red zone defense and wanting to get better at that from last season. How do you think you guys improved on that against NAU, and what can you take from that going against Mississippi State?
I feel like all fall camp we emphasize big on red zone offense and defense. As you can tell, NAU kind of showed up. Still want to improve it, make and have the best red zone defense in the nation. So that's the plan, and we're just gonna continue to grind towards it.
And then what are some of the younger guys on defense that kind of stood out to you during the game?
Tay Brown. I can't think right now. Tay Brown stood out.
Well, what is it about him since he came to your mind first?
Well, he's my position too. So I was watching him, and he was just doing his job, and he was making plays.
David and then Brian.
For Jacob Cowling, just walk us through your touchdown, how that came together, and how Montana was instrumental in getting you over there.
Yeah, it was the perfect look for a perfect play call. So as soon as we got the look that we wanted from the defense, we knew what play to get into. And then, if it wasn't for Montana running his route the way that he did, I probably wouldn't have been open, or that wide open like I was. And I think it was just all across the board, just good execution from all three receivers, and then good placement from the ball from Jay.
Brian?
Jacob Cowan, the offense averaged more than 12 yards per play on first down. During practice and whatnot, are there specific plays that you guys try to do most on first down because you know that they're going to be more productive than others?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think it's just the kind of guys that we have that know how to make explosive plays, know how to get yards after catch when they get the ball in their hands. It's not really just based on the play call, it's just the players that we have that can make the ball, move a little bit more after we get the ball in our hands.
Michael?
For Jacob Manu, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at Mississippi State's film yet or get the game plan. But they have a completely different offense than they had before. What are your initial impressions?
I watched some of their film already. We know they're a good team. They like to run more this year, and they got good guys in the backfield that make plays. So we just gotta be prepared to come out strong this week and be strong until the end.
Any more questions? Justin?
Jed, for Jacob County, Jed mentioned that Jaden watched Quarterback on Netflix and how they were able to kind of create plays and improvise a little bit. Do you guys go through stuff like that in practice?
Yeah, there's a period that that they'll give Jaden a grace period to kind of come up with his own kind of plays, and then we'll run through them after practice and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun seeing the creative mind that he has and certain things that we can get into if all else fails, and then just pull out something creative out of his bag.
Is that just maybe a product of Jed trusting Jaden a lot more now that he's been a year in the system?
100%. I think after that 1 year underneath our belt, actually him knowing the offense, now that he can play a little bit around with the offense, he sees things a lot different now. So if he sees something that may not work, that he can be like, hey, let's try this instead, let's try it at practice, and then just try to execute it.
Troy with the last question.
Jacob Cowan, I know we're probably not going to get you leading up to the game, so I just wanted to get your thoughts of playing UTEP in Tucson a couple weeks from now, just having that opportunity to play your old team.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That was the only school that kind of gave me an opportunity to play college football out of high school. So I still know a lot of guys on the offensive side of UTEP, so it'll be fun to go against old squad that I used to be part of, but at the same